Welcome to Going Back, a collection of bloopers and outtakes from the Nothing Much Happens podcast. I'm your audio engineer, Bob Wittersheim. Now, Kathryn Nicolai may indeed
create everything you hear on Nothing Much Happens.
But she also creates plenty that you do not hear, and that's where I come in. I make sure that everything you hear is only what we want you to hear, only the things that will help you fall asleep. And so, barking dogs, rumbling stomachs, outside interruptions, and just regular old goofs are all removed by me to ensure you have a relaxing experience. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to go behind the curtain and enjoy some of the more entertaining edits. And so, we proudly present Going Back.
They'd cost more than their common cousins. But when I'd seen... Going back. I just got distracted thinking about Arrested Development. I don't know why. My brain just went offline. Oh, bodes well. But I guessed that even if it wasn't, sorry, just drifted away there for a second. And set them near the open window to cool. I'm feeling a little vocal fry-ish. I don't know how I did days of the audiobook. It's like one story wears me out. I'd found it in the antique shop downtown, and I'd been carefully cleaning it. I'm really having a hard time today, BW. I'd found it. I feel really squeaky too, and I'm hydrated AF. I don't know. On the windowsill, I set out a small pot with a young jade plant that I'd propagated. Had to stop and do research because I realized I was about to talk about a jade plant. And my mother sent me a jade plant for my birthday and then sent me an email about the meaning of jade plants, which I did not read. But she is a listener of the podcast. I thought, I better know what they're about. See the busy bake. Going back, I didn't remember writing this line, and I was like, what is this about? And then we'd probably forgotten all about it a week or two later, when we learned how to make pinch pots in the ceramics shed, or to fletch arrows, or, I don't know how to say this word. Just going back a little bit. And then we'd probably forgotten all about it a week or two later, when we learned how to make pinch pots in the ceramic shed, or to fletch arrows, or build rock cairns on our afternoon hikes. They grew on a plant called lunaria. I over-Italianated that one. I'm going to go back. Rein it in. They grew on a plant called lunaria, or sometimes called a money tree. I think I cut myself off mid-word there accidentally. Or sometimes called a money tree. Keepsake. That had started... Squeak, squeak, squeak. Welcome to Nothing Much Happens. Oh my God. That's not how I say it. It's going to be one of those nights. At any time, on nearly any continent, you can find a retirement of coffee or tree I was doing really good today. At nearly any time, nope, that's not correct. Go back. At any time, on nearly any continent, you can find a retirement of coffee or tea-drinking elders with plenty to say. I'd interpreted it. That seemed like it had too many syllables in it. I'd interpreted it through the lens of kid logic, or opened my eyes to find I'd traveled at light speed to a market in Marrakesh. I'm going to say that last word again because I don't think it's Marrakesh, I think it's Marrakesh. A market in Marrakesh. A smooth, flat circle of stone fell from where it was balanced somewhere near the bulb, right into my hand. Speaking of stones, I'm feeling awfully gravelly. Here we go, Season 7, Episode possibly 5. I don't remember. This is called Sugar Snow. May Day, she told us. I'm going to say that again because it sounded more like Mayday than Mayday. I almost called the episode Mayday, but then I thought that sounds scary. Mayday, she told us. I'm Kathryn Nicolai. I write and read all the stories you hear. Did you hear that squeak, Bob? What's that? All the stories you hear. This is the third time I've started. It's not good. I have a lot to record this afternoon. Get it together, Kathryn. I'll just go back a little bit. The week before, on a cool spring morning, I'd found a square red envelope in my mailbox. Going back, when I wrote that line the week before, I had all these ideas of what was going to happen in the story, and it didn't happen that way, so I just realized, why is this happening a week before? You didn't do it that way. So I'm going to say that again and edit the line. I stepped into the kitchen to fill my mister and thought that my friend... Oh, I'm going to apologize right now for the next line, Bob. And thought that my friend might not be ready for Planned Parenthood. It's not that funny. I don't know why it makes you laugh. The tag called them Hemingway insulators. And I realized my grandfather, I said that wrong, it's Hemingway, but I just have to say Hemingway insulators sounds like a band name or the beginning of a book I'm going to write about Nikola Tesla and possibly time travel. The tag called them Hemingway insulators, and decided it was time to take the sycamore back in and see if the innkeeper was up for a game of badminton. I feel like I'm going to say badminton, and actually, I don't know if that's a Michigan swallow the last syllable pronunciation, but I'll give you an option. Up for a game of badminton, and spent summer mornings with badminton rackets. That time I really hit the bad. They're so bad. And spent summer mornings with badminton rackets down by the lake. And I spotted thick mounds of oregano and tarragon. I think I want to say tarragon. Let's go back. thick mounds of oregano and tarragon, and then ski-daddled before we'd been caught. I don't know if I should lean into the ski-daddle. I hear it. But I don't know if I can say, and then ski-daddled before we'd been caught. I'll leave that one up to you, BW. I don't want to sound like, who's that giant southern chicken? Looney Tunes? The foghorn dude? I heard just a bit of him.